Hey, what's up? In the previous video, I gave you 4 assignments related to the simple present and present continuous. I hope that helps you to get familiar with these two tenses. In today's lesson, I'm going to give you 2 more exciting and challenging assignments. Are you ready? Here we go. In this assignment, if you pay very close attention, you will surely recognize that each of these sentences contains a mistake. So, what you need to do is to cross out the mistake and write the correct word or words at the end of the sentence. I'm going to give you around 10 to 15 seconds to accomplish this. Have you finished? Let's check out the answer. Number 1. Living in the countryside is having many advantages. There's something wrong here. This sentence describes something that's only true, so it must be simple present, not present continuous. Therefore, this sentence should be, living in the countryside has many advantages. Number 2. I'm feeling that cities are dirty, noisy, and expensive places. Remember, we don't use the present continuous with the verbs which express thoughts and feelings such as feel. Hence, we need to use the present simple here. I feel that cities are dirty, noisy, and expensive places. Number 3. Winters in my city are hot because it's snowing a lot. Again, this is the fact or the truth. Thus, we need to use the simple present instead of the present continuous. This sentence should be, winters in my city are hot because it snows a lot. Next, number 4. City life becoming more and more expensive. This talks about the situation which is changing or developing. Therefore, using the present continuous here is absolutely correct. However, this sentence is wrong in terms of grammar because it lacks the verb to be. It must be is becoming. City life is becoming more and more expensive. Then, let's go to number 5. I'm studying English at a language school in my hometown. This sentence should be present continuous because it talks about an activity which is in progress but not exactly now. So, we should say, I'm studying English at a language school in my hometown. Number 6. People generally are believing that country life is healthier than city life. The verb believe is used to express feelings and thoughts. Hence, we need to use the present simple here. People generally believe that country life is healthier than city life. Next, number 7. The city council is building lots of new apartment blocks in the suburbs. Something is changing and developing in the suburbs. Thus, the present continuous should be used. The city council is building lots of new apartment blocks in the suburbs. Finally, number 8. I'm not liking small towns because there's nothing to do. Similar to the verbs feel and believe in the sentences number 2 and 6 above, the verb like is also used to express feelings and thoughts of someone. Therefore, it must be simple present. I don't like small towns because there's nothing to do. In the next assignment, please complete the passage below with the correct form of the verbs in the box, present simple or present continuous. I'm going to give you around 10 to 15 seconds to accomplish this. Have you finished? Let's check out the answer. I live in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. I have a small flat in the suburbs, but at the moment, I am staying with my parents in the city center because my mother is ill and I am looking after her until she gets better. I think that Buenos Aires is a really lively and exciting city, and I like it here a lot. City life in general has lots of advantages. There are always so many things to see and do. One of the things I enjoy the most is something called people watching. So right now I am sitting on my parents' balcony and watching people in the streets below. In the evenings, I meet my friends for a meal, or sometimes we play volleyball in one of the city parks. Of course, there are bad sides to the city as well. It is becoming more and more crowded, for example, and the crime rate is rising because there are a lot of people out of work. I hope you got all the correct answers. This is really straightforward, right? More importantly, you really want to read this passage as many times as possible because it gives you an idea to answer some questions like, could you please tell me about your favorite city? Or could you please tell me about where you live? You will see these types of questions in IELTS Speaking Part 2, where you have to speak for around 1 to 2 minutes about a specific topic. Those topics can be something like your favorite city, the place you live, or the place you like to visit, etc. If you read this passage carefully, I'm sure you can learn a lot of things and come up with your own answers for those particular topics. Now I'm going to show you some very nice words and phrases which you can learn from this passage. I live in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. I have a small flat in the suburbs, but this word, but, is really nice because telling that the next part is kind of opposite to the previous one. In IELTS speaking, if you can regularly give the opposite ideas or contrast, chances that you're gonna get higher grade. Imagine you just keep speaking like, I live in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. I have a small flat in the suburbs. I am staying with my parents. My mother is ill. I am looking after her until she gets better. It sounds a bit boring, right? There's no taste, no feeling, and no attraction at all if you do so. On the other hand, if you use some words and phrases such as but, however, in contrast, etc., you can attract listeners better. And so, you're gonna get higher grade. The next word I'd like to talk about is because. This one is amazingly helpful to show the reason for something. For example, the reason he is staying with his parents in the city centers is because his mother is ill and he's looking after her. Or the crime rate is rising because there are a lot of people out of work. So please use these words or its synonyms a lot to give the reason or explanation for what you're talking about. It can help you extend your speech, which is absolutely essential in IELTS speaking, and attract listeners to your story. Next, if you like to express your thoughts or opinions, you can say, I think that, blah blah blah. Easy, right? Then, let's talk about the way to say you like something. I used to teach you some common ways in the previous lessons. Now I'm going to teach you some more. You can say, I like it here a lot. That means I like it very much. Or you can say, one of the things I enjoy the most is. That means you like many things and you're about to mention one of them. This is a fantastic way to replace the regular phrase I like, which people often use. In IELTS speaking, the more structures, words, phrases, linking words, etc. you can use, the higher score you can get. Next, can you feel the difference between these two sentences? City life in general has lots of advantages, and city life has lots of advantages. In the first sentence, we use the phrase in general, while we don't do that in the second one. Do you think these two sentences are different? Well, actually, they're not much different from each other in terms of meanings. However, using in general sounds more professional and demonstrates your true language ability. Remember, even if you know a lot of English, you won't get a high mark if you don't say enough to prove your skills. Examiners can only rate what they hear, so you need to show them all you got in the exam. The next phrase I'd like to remind you is lots of. It has similar meaning to a lot of, many, much, several, tons of, a ton of, etc. Therefore, you better switch among those words and phrases to make sure your talk sounds phenomenal, attractive, and is able to prove your wide range of vocabulary, which is remarkable for high grade. Then, let's have a look at the phrase of course. It helps to link the two sentences together. Mastering linking words will definitely bring you high score as well. Some adverbs which have similar meanings to of course are certainly, obviously, undoubtedly, surely, reliably, positively, etc. You better use them flexibly to achieve good mark. Finally, one more phrase which I'd like to remind you is for example. I'm sure everyone understands what that means. However, what I want to emphasize here is its position in the sentence. Normally, you put the phrase for example at the beginning of the sentence. Do you know that you can put it in the middle or at the end of the sentence as well? IELTS examiners will be impressed by the way you use the same phrase at different positions in a sentence. It shows your ability of using variety of grammatical structures, which is extremely important in getting high grade. Are you happy with those tips and tricks which have just been given? Yay! But wait, I still have some more for you. Take a look at the words and phrases below. I'm 100% sure that you're gonna get really high grade if you use them effectively. In IELTS speaking and writing, if you're able to keep switching among the words and phrases which have similar meanings, you're undoubtedly gonna get high score. The reason is it proves your English language skill and examiners will certainly notice that. For example, number 1. You can replace the word but with however, in contrast, or on the other hand. Don't just use the word but all the time, which makes your talk sound poor and boring. Similarly, number 2. You can use the phrase the reason is to replace the word because to avoid repetition. Number 3. I think that is similar to in my opinion. Next, you can use the sentence and the phrase in numbers 4 and 5 respectively to say you like something. I like it here a lot, and one of the things I enjoy the most is. Then, number 6. You can replace the phrase in general with the following words and phrases: generally, generally speaking, usually, and in most situations. Number 7. The phrase lots of is similar to a lot of, many, much, several, tons of, a ton of. Next, number 8. Of course can be replaced by certainly, obviously, undoubtedly, surely, reliably, and positively. Finally, you can either say for example or for instance. Now as you understand it, you can learn this list carefully and keep switching the words and phrases around to make your speech more appealing. Those are some very nice words and phrases which will surely help you improve your speaking skill and get high score in the IELTS speaking test. You're going to learn a lot more in the coming lessons if you keep following this course to the end. I'm going to give you tons of better tips and tricks to get high score in the IELTS speaking test. I hope you did enjoy our lesson today. I see you in the next video.